So I've been watching a lot of these videos with this guy in glasses. I don't give a fuck what his name is. I mean, like he doesn't give a fuck what my name is. And he's going around asking people, what is a woman? What is a woman? What is a woman? and from a clinical standpoint, I don't think he's writing a thesis or a paper. I don't think he's trying to advance medicine. I think from a transgender standpoint, I don't think he's trying to advance their cause. So my question becomes, if you're just trying to get YouTube likes by going out and essentially belittling a a group of people, because that's effectively what it comes down to. You have to ask yourself, what am I improving by what I'm doing? Are you improving science? Because as you say, science is pretty clear on some criteria. How that affects this guy asking questions, I'm not aware. But I do know that when you ask yourself, okay, what I'm doing, what am I trying to achieve? And just on an initial observation of this guy, he's trying to use YouTube as a means of using logic to to kind of make people who are experiencing this body dysphoria admit that they are in fact not what they say they are. Who gives a fuck? That's my question. Who gives a shit? Like at this point, he's not advancing science because science is pretty clear. He's not making their lives any better. So what the fuck are you doing? You're just going out and starting shit. Why? To start shit? Yeah, we get it. You're smart, buddy. Good. Go be smart somewhere else. Use that intelligence to not alienate a group of people. I feel like this is fucking ridiculous. Like, you can feel however you want. What this comes down to is not whether or not someone is biologically male or female. What it comes down to is the the rest of the population agreeing that somebody has the right to live the way they want. And that's in the fucking Constitution. Whether or not you agree with that, I don't know. I don't give a fuck about that. But that's in the Constitution. If somebody, say that, let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say this is a mental condition. And let's just say that this person, once they feel that they take on the gender that they feel is right, everything feels better for them. Why fuck with that? You know what I mean? It's not to advance science because this is, I mean, you're not going to get any papers published by getting a handful of transgender folk to feel that they have lost the advantage in an argument. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, is what you're doing bettering the world, or is it creating more divide? And buddy, you're creating more of a divide. So take that intelligence and kindly go fuck yourself, because there's 1,000 other things. You want to devote some of that intelligence to something that matters? Start figuring out a way how to map the Mariana Trench, just on first thought. Why don't you go to legislators and figure out a way that we can start to get a handle on AI should that turn into a problem, because it's looking like that's going to be a definitive problem at some point. Don't go to a group of people who are already bullied, who are already feeling, um, you know, um, rallied against. Don't go to a bunch of people who already feel like marginalized and just further the process. It has nothing, nobody is, look, regardless, no, this is going to be unpopular opinion, but let's just cut the bullshit. I don't think anybody that's out there actually believes that if they have male genitals, they are in fact a a medical female or male. It's about how they feel, and how they feel is of no concern to me other than I want people to feel like they can live the way they want. And them choosing the identity that they want does not negatively affect me, doesn't negatively affect you, doesn't do any of that shit. So quit rallying against fucking people who are just trying to live their fucking lives. Use intelligence for something that's actually intelligent, not being a bully. All right? Like this is exactly what happens when somebody who's intelligent, who's been bullied all their life, goes out and gets a chance to bully somebody else. Bro, sack the fuck up and take that fucking intelligence and do something else. You're not fucking making the world better, right? You're gonna ask 1,000 people what a woman is, bro. That's a philosophical question. People who are in medicine, if you ask them that question, they're gonna have varying answers anyway. Because what do you mean, philosophically, psychologically, medically? What are you talking about? There's multiple answers to the question, and that's what they're arguing. That's what the transgender folk are arguing. It's a multiple layered question with multiply layered answers. It is not so simple as just saying, "Oh, well, I got a dick and balls, so I'm a dude." Like, who the fuck cares? Their lives are better if they get to express who they are, who they feel they are. Like, what damage is being done? Other than, I will say, there seems to be in the United States this rampant, this acceptance of things. Now, as parents, if your 13-year-old comes to you and says, "I feel like I'm a girl," you need to understand that in the context of what is happening. Your child, who is still growing, still learning the world, says something that requires thought, requires consideration beyond a 30-second talk with somebody who, is arguing an agenda. You have to be willing to carefully walk both sides of the line so as to educate your children without swaying your children, other than to let them know that this is not a decision that is appropriate for this age. When they become 21, I mean, I don't even believe 18. Most of the 18-year-olds I know, I want a deck in the face. When that kid becomes 21 and then says the same thing, that's a different fucking matter. And it doesn't take a social scientist to figure out that a 13-year-old and a 21-year-old have two things, or have one thing that are very different at that time, and that's maturity. I really fucked that up, but the point is still clear. So to this guy who's like asking what a woman is, my question to you is, what fucking good are you doing? What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to, at the end of the day, what do you want to happen? Because is it just to get monetized on YouTube? Because congratulations, your fucking bullshit is probably going to get monetized. You're probably already making a shitload of money from YouTube. And hey, you know what? You're only having to disparage a group of marginalized people who already feel bullied. Good for fucking you, buddy. Come ask me that question. You know what I mean? I won't be able to answer it, but I'll be able to get my hands on you. And then we'll see. While I'm beating you over the head and you're like, "Why are you doing this? What is this helping?" I'm going to turn to you and be like, "Now you get it. What am I helping by doing this?" And then I'm going to kick you in the ass to walk your way down the street. Intelligent people, here's the thing. When you are intelligent, you have a social responsibility to use that intelligence for either good or evil. And I really mean good in a social scenario, but if you're not smart enough to see that at the basis of what you're doing, if you're not smart enough to see that on the initial basic level of understanding, what you're doing on a day-to-day level is disparaging a group of people who are already feeling marginalized, bullied, they're being, imagine if somebody, I just want to follow you around and kind of subject you to the things that these people have to be subjected to, but in a way that is meaningful for you, in a way that makes you feel like when you see me, you're going to piss yourself. Now, it's my understanding that science understands one thing. I don't think people are disputing that. I think this is about people wanting to be treated in the way they feel. And when they are, if you have a genetic male, someone who's born a male, who wants to be treated as a female, if that is the extent of their problem and you can solve that by just allowing them to be treated the way they want to, it's in the fucking Constitution, right? That's why we're in America. That's why we love freedom. That's why this is such a great country. You know, they have the freedom to live without a fucking self-righteous sack of shit walking around, stirring up trouble, paying no mind to the fucking, the damage that he might be doing to a group of people. But hey, he's doing it for science. Good for fucking you, buddy. All those papers and those stuffy rooms and all those textbooks, they're all vibrating with that sense that somebody is going out there and marching to their cause. Or they're just fucking books and they're sitting on shelves and all you're doing is bullying people. Like, you want to prove you're smart? Don't use your smart to bully people, because that's what you're doing. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But tell me to my face.